What if I told you that Kali Yuga itself once stood before a warrior saint and asked for permission to rule the world? Not a metaphor, not a story written to entertain, but a profound spiritual teaching tied to the life and legacy of Guru Gobind Singh Ji. A teaching so precise, so unsettling, that once you truly understand it, you will look at the world around you and recognize something you cannot unsee. Kali Yuga is not coming. It is already here, and it has been waiting for you to wake up. In Sikh tradition, particularly in texts connected to the Dasam Granth, there exist narratives that operate on a level beyond history. They do not simply record events. They illuminate the architecture of time itself. They speak about cycles, consciousness, and the eternal struggle between truth and illusion. One such narrative describes a symbolic encounter between Guru Gobind Singh Ji and Kali Yuga, the very age we are living in right now. An age defined not simply by the passing of years, but by the gradual erosion of righteousness, truth, and spiritual awareness from the human heart. So what exactly unfolds in Kali Yuga? What were the conditions it requested? And what does Guru Gobind Singh Ji's response reveal about the purpose of this age and about us? What is Kali Yuga? Ancient Indian philosophy divides the flow of time into 4 great cycles, for yugas each representing a different quality of human consciousness and civilization. Satya Yuga was the age of truth, where righteousness stood on 4 pillars and humanity lived in alignment with the divine. Treta Yuga saw the first signs of spiritual erosion. Sacrifice and effort were required where once virtue flowed naturally. Dvapara Yuga deepened the descent. Doubt crept in, values fractured, and conflict became common. And then comes Kali Yuga, the age of darkness. But here's what most people misunderstand. Kali Yuga is not simply about war, chaos, or natural disaster. Those are symptoms. The root of Kali Yuga is far more subtle and far more dangerous. It is the slow, quiet erosion of truth from within human consciousness. It is the age where greed masquerades as ambition, where power replaces righteousness, where noise drowns out wisdom, and where humanity slowly and almost imperceptibly begins to forget its own purpose. The meaning and spiritual interpretations of this tradition, Kali Yuga, is not merely an era on a cosmic calendar. It is personified, a force, a presence, a condition that spreads through human behavior like a shadow lengthening at dusk. According to this narrative, Kali Yuga approaches Guru Gobind Singh Ji not as a conqueror, not as an enemy bearing arms, but as something, seeking acknowledgement, seeking permission to allow me to exist, allow me to spread. What follows is not a battle of swords. There are no armies, no chariots, no clash of steel. What unfolds is a battle of understanding, a confrontation at the level of wisdom itself. And Guru Gobind Singh Ji does not deny its existence. He does not attempt to banish it or destroy it. Instead, he recognizes a deeper truth, one that changes everything about how we must understand this age. Kali Yuga is necessary. Why Kali Yuga exists, this is where the teaching becomes powerful. Because Kali Yuga is not simply destruction. It is not a punishment or a cosmic accident. It is a test, a mirror, a forge. In an age where everything is easy, truth is obvious. When goodness surrounds you, it costs you nothing to be good. But Kali Yuga changes the equation entirely. In this age, truth must be chosen. Deliberately, repeatedly, against resistance. When corruption is everywhere, honesty becomes an act of courage. When hatred spreads freely, compassion becomes a form of power. When lies travel faster than facts, speaking truth becomes a radical act. Kali Yuga forces individuals to rise not because the conditions are favorable, but precisely because they are not. The darkness does not diminish you. It reveals you. It asks the question that comfort never could. What are you made of when everything around you is falling apart? The signs around us look at the world today, and the patterns begin to emerge with uncomfortable clarity. Truth is questioned more aggressively than lies. Wealth is worshipped above wisdom. People pursue status endlessly, yet feel hollow inside. Relationships grow transactional. Spirituality either fades entirely or gets packaged and sold. Screens connect us to everyone and isolate us from everything. These are not random cultural shifts. These are the characteristics of Kali Yuga described in ancient teachings, precisely, almost methodically, centuries before we could have known what the world would look like today. But perhaps the most alarming sign of all is this: people no longer realize they are lost. The disorientation is so complete, so normalized, that the search for meaning has been replaced by the performance of it. The hidden opportunity here is the truth that gets buried beneath all the darkness. Kali Yuga is also considered, across multiple traditions, to be the easiest age for genuine spiritual growth. Yes, the easiest. Not in comfort, in impact. Because in darker times, even the smallest light casts a long shadow. A single act of sincere honesty in an age of deception carries exponential weight. A moment of genuine compassion in a cold and transactional world becomes extraordinary. A disciplined, principled mind in an era of distraction becomes rare, and rare things carry immense power. This means that while the collective may descend, the individual still holds the power to ascend. The conditions outside do not determine the trajectory within. In fact, the very difficulty of this age is what makes your choices more meaningful than they would have been in any other. The role of Guru Gobind Singh Ji. Guru Gobind Singh Ji did not come to eliminate Kali Yuga. He came to prepare humanity for it. To create within the human spirit a force capable of standing firm when everything around it was in collapse. Through his teachings, his sacrifice, and through the creation of the Khalsa, he gave humanity a model, not just a religion, but an orientation. Fearlessness in the face of tyranny, discipline in the face of chaos, unwavering commitment to truth when truth has become costly, standing against injustice not because victory is guaranteed, but because conscience demands it. The message was clear. In Kali Yuga, you do not wait for the world to become worthy of your goodness. You carry your goodness into a world that has forgotten what it looks like. The real question, so the question is not, what will happen next in Kali Yuga? History will unfold as it must. Cycles will continue. The arc of this age still has distance to travel, and the traditional accounts suggest the road does not get easier before it transforms. The real question, the one that this entire teaching was always pointing toward, is this: what will you become in Kali Yuga? Because this age does not define you. Your response to it does. Every moment you choose truth when lies would be easier, every moment you hold integrity when compromise would cost you less, every moment you extend compassion when apathy is the default, you are not simply surviving Kali Yuga. You are fulfilling its deepest purpose. The encounter between Guru Gobind Singh Ji and Kali Yuga is not a story to be filed away as mythology. It is a message, a living message, a warning, and an opportunity delivered in the same breath. Yes, the world may grow more chaotic. Yes, truth may become harder to find and more costly to speak. Yes, the noise will grow louder and the distractions more consuming. But understand this: that is not a reason for despair. That is the condition under which your courage becomes most valuable. That is the environment in which your integrity becomes most powerful. That is the darkness in which even the smallest, most consistent light, your light, matters more than you can possibly imagine. In an age where everything dims, be the one who refuses to.